Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So for my Power of Five, I'm kind of going off of the sermon series that we've been going through, and the title of my Power of Five is Dying to Yourself. So the sermon series we've been going through the last few weeks has shifted a lot of thinking for me. Every day I'm working with God to make sure that my armor fits, so that when I need it, it functions and protects me the way that it should as I fight. We need to be intentional each day as we rise to make sure that we are fully aware of the evil lurking outside, seeking to kill, steal, and destroy our homes, our families, and our relationship with God. And to be aware that the devil attacks in small and seemingly insignificant ways, in whispers or thoughts. A study showed that the average person has between 50 and 70,000 thoughts a day. And if one of those goes uncorrected, it can change the whole trajectory of your thoughts for the rest of that day and take you further and further away from God. In combination of this series and listening to past messages, I've been making it a daily and sometimes hourly practice of dying to myself. I struggled with controlling my anger, and at times I still do. I'll snap a response back at someone without seeing what is actually happening. I'll let my emotions dictate my actions and cloud my judgment. I care way too much about what other people think of me and my reputation. God has been showing me how selfish I've been in thinking like this. It's been a trying but growing season for me. I've been making myself the God of my life, and I repent of that. Letting my emotions lead me and not the one true living God. When I've snapped or did something rationally or jumped to a conclusion without finding all the facts because I was annoyed, I go back to the ones I hurt or affected and I ask for their forgiveness. Not just trying to save face with that person, but to repent and turn from acting that way. Now when those moments arise and I'm getting frustrated or someone is trying to get me fired up and jump on a bandwagon because they're upset about something, I tell myself God is God and I am not. When I tell myself this, I hear what God was telling Job when Job was whining and complaining about his life, and God set him straight. And chapter 38 is titled, The Lord Speaks. When I was finding this chapter, as I was flipping through the chapters, it was always Job responds. One of his friends talks, Job responds. Another one of his friends talks, Job responds. And then finally, chapter 38, the Lord speaks. God was listening to the conversation Job was having with his idiot friends. A big sad pity party, which Satan was trying to use to separate Job from God, to find a crack in the armor to attack Job with. And when I read, the Lord speaks, that's like the tone you hear when you're little, and you know by how your parents are talking that you're going to get your butt whooped.
Yeah.
So in chapter 38, it starts, Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm, and he said, Who is this that can obscure my plans with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched out the measuring line across it? Or where was its footing set? Or who laid the cornerstone? While the morning stars sang together and the angels shouted for joy. Who shouted up the sea, or shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and wrapped it in thick darkness. When I fixed the limits for it and set its doors and bars in place. When I said, This far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. Have you ever given orders to the morning, or shown the dawn its place? That it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it? The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its feature stands out like those of a garment. The wicked are denied their light, and their upraised arm is broken. Knowing how powerful God is and knowing how loving He is, why would I want to burden myself with trying to please everyone and try to control everything? That's the lie Satan wants you to believe. that I need to figure out everything out on my own and that I'm in control of my own happiness. No, my value comes from God. When you live your life in service to the King, you will have trials. That's guaranteed and it's promised. But you will be so incredibly blessed. You may not have riches the world says you may need to be happy, but we strive for an eternal prize, not one that can be stolen or destroyed.